Thank you for joining us for the Great Apple Crunch Day. Today we'll be preparing a cooking demonstration of the Cabbage Cranberry Apple Slaw. Now starting off with, we've already prepared our salad dressing. To kind of talk to you a little bit about that, this will incorporate a little bit of sugar, about 1/3 cup, some rice wine vinegar, white wine vinegar, and oil, specifically olive oil. And we've also added some salt and pepper. But you can really kind of get creative with it, incorporating maybe some garlic powder and onion powder to match your preference. Now I'm going to always kind of add it into the base of the bowl. That way you can kind of mix it in and incorporate everything together with the cabbage. And the nice thing about this recipe is it typically makes a fair amount of extra, so you can always store it for additional salads down the line. Next, I'll be preparing the cabbage. So typically you'll want to halve the cabbage and then quarter it again. Example being just taking it like so. Setting one thing aside. And then just kind of shredding it. Now you can get pretty thin or a little thicker depending on your preference as well. And always making sure to kind of use the claw method to, save your fingers, right?
So I'll just take a minute to say hi. I'm Laura Poland. I'm a dietitian in your kitchen. This is Mitch, my intern. We are here live from Curves. Thanks to Barb McMullen, the owner here of the Northeast Curves in Columbus. You can see everybody's busy back here and doing a great workout. And we hope you can come by and grab an apple and crunch with us. October is the Great Apple Crunch initiative to help with Farm to School Network. They do some great things with schools about gardens and things like that and getting kids to eat fresh. And so the idea is to have everybody come and take an apple crunch, take a picture of it for yourself, put it on your Facebook, and tag the Great Apple Crunch on it. And the more we crunch, the better. These are all local farm fresh apples. But we also are showing you a recipe that you can use apples in. And so I will let Mitch take it from here now that he's done cutting up his cabbage.
Thank you, Laura. So after you really prepare the cabbage, you can incorporate the cranberries, but kind of an ode to being creative with this recipe is we're using dried cherries in place. This is just to really kind of encourage you to prepare your recipe based on your preference. So next I'll add the dried cherries, but the recipe calls for dried cranberries, right? Follow that by a little bit of the walnuts too. Now the nice thing about the walnuts is this will really add a nice textural component, as well as some healthy omega-3s that are really heart healthy. Next, the recipe calls for Granny Smith apples. So in prepping it, you can kind of just go along the core. And going at the base, you can just kind of cut it along sides and then just mince it across. Typically, when you want to cut too, you also want to use like the rowing method. This helps to safeguard, against injury, really. And it's a little easier when you're not wearing baggy gloves. Now, I really think that, if you want to get a little more creative with this recipe, if you want to go a little more sweet or savory, depending on your preference, you can add in fresh fruit to make it a little sweeter. Or if you want to go a little more savory, you can get a little red onion, incorporate that in, maybe even some soy sauce, add a little umami to it. Yeah, and now I'm going to kind of incorporate it all together. And adding a little more dressing as well. Yeah, and so this will be, the cranberry cabbage apple slaw.
Looks delicious. Hopefully you can come by, have a sample. We'll give a sample to these ladies when they're done with their workout. And thanks for joining Dietitian in Your Kitchen at Curves. And hope you have a great day. Bye.